I soon learned to know that flower better. On the little prince's planet, there had always been very simple flowers, but this one had grown from a seed brought from who knows where, and the little prince had kept a close watch over a sprout that was not like any of the others. It might have been a new kind of baobab, but the sprout soon stopped growing and began to show signs of blossoming. The little prince, who had watched the development of an enormous bud, realized that some sort of miraculous apparition would emerge from it. And then, one morning, precisely at sunrise, she showed herself.
I'm hardly awake, forgive me. Oh, I'm still all untidy.
How lovely you are.
Aren't I? And I was born at the same time as the sun. I believe it's breakfast time. Would you be so kind as to tend to me?
And the little prince, utterly abashed, having gone to look for a watering can, served the flower. But she soon began tormenting him with her rather touchy vanity. One day, for instance, alluding to her 4 thorns, she remarked to the little prince,
"Oh, I'm ready for tigers, with all their claws."
There are no tigers on my planet. And besides, tigers don't eat weeds.
I'm not a weed.
Oh, forgive me.
I am not at all afraid of tigers, but I have a horror of drafts. You wouldn't happen to have a screen?
A horror of drafts. That's not a good sign for a plant. How complicated this flower is.
After dark you will put me under glass. How cold it is where you live. It's quite uncomfortable. Where I come from,
And she suddenly broke off. She had come here as a seed. She couldn't have known anything of other worlds. Humiliated at having let herself be caught on the verge of so naive a lie, she coughed 2 or 3 times in order to put the little prince in the wrong.
What about that screen?
I was going to go look for one, but you were speaking to me.
Then she made herself cough again, in order to inflict a twinge of remorse on him all the same. So the little prince, despite all the goodwill of his love, had soon come to mistrust her. He had taken seriously certain inconsequential remarks and had grown very unhappy. On the morning of his departure, he put his planet in order, and when he watered the flower one last time and put her under glass, he felt like crying.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I've been silly. I ask for your forgiveness. Try to be happy.
He was surprised that there were no reproaches. He stood there, quite bewildered, holding the glass bell in midair.
Of course I love you. It was my fault you never knew. Oh, it doesn't matter. But you were just as silly as I was. Try to be happy. Oh, and put that glass thing down. I don't want it anymore.
But the wind.
Oh, my cold isn't that bad. The night air will do me good. I'm a flower.
But the animals.
Oh, I need to put up with 2 or 3 caterpillars if I want to get to know the butterflies. Apparently they're very beautiful. Otherwise, who will visit me? You'll be far away. As for the big animals, I'm not afraid of them. I have my own claws.
And she naively showed her 4 thorns.
Don't hang around like this. It's irritating. You made up your mind to leave now. Now go.
For she didn't want him to see her crying. She was such a proud flower. In order to make his escape, I believe he took advantage of a migration of wild birds. He happened to be in the vicinity of asteroids, so he began by visiting them. The first one was inhabited by a king.
Ah, here's a subject.
For kings, the world is extremely simplified. All men are subjects. The little prince looked around for a place to sit down, but the planet was covered by the magnificent ermine cloak. So he remained standing, and since he was tired, he yawned.
It is a violation of etiquette to yawn in a king's presence. I forbid you to do so.
I can't help it. I've made a long journey, and I haven't had any sleep.
Then I command you to yawn. Come on, yawn again. It is an order.
That intimidates me. I can't do it now.
Well, then I command you to yawn sometimes, and sometimes to...
He was sputtering a little and seemed annoyed, for the king insisted that his authority be universally respected.
Sire, excuse me for asking.
I command you to ask.
Sire, over what do you reign?
Over everything.
Over everything?
With a discreet gesture, the king pointed to his planet, to the other planets, and to the stars.
Over all that?
Over all that.
And the stars obey you? Even the sun?
Of course. They obey immediately. I tolerate no insubordination.
I'd like to see a sunset. Do me a favor, Your Majesty. Command the sun to set.
You shall have your sunset. I shall command it. But I shall wait, according to my science of government, until conditions are favorable. That will be that will be tonight around 7:40, and you'll see how well I am obeyed.
The little prince yawned.
I have nothing further to do here. I'm going to be on my way.
Do not leave! Do not leave!
If Your Majesty desires to be promptly obeyed, he should give me a reasonable command. He might command me, for instance, to leave before this minute is up. It seems to me that conditions are favorable.
The king, having made no answer, the little prince hesitated at first, and then, with a sigh, took his leave.
I make you my ambassador.
He had a great air of authority. The little prince thought that grown-ups are so strange. The second planet was inhabited by a very vain man. Now, to vain men, other people are admirers. Vain men never hear anything but praise, so the little prince continued on his journey. The next planet was inhabited by a drunkard. This visit was a very brief one, but it plunged the little prince into a deep depression. The drunkard was sunk in silence before a collection of empty bottles and a collection of full ones.
What are you doing here?
Drinking.
Why are you drinking?
To forget.
To forget what?
To forget that I'm ashamed.
What are you ashamed of?
Of drinking.
The drunkard withdrew into silence for good, and the little prince went on his way, puzzled. Grown-ups are certainly very, very strange, he said to himself as he continued on his journey. The fourth planet belonged to a businessman. This person was so busy that he didn't even raise his head when the little prince arrived.
Hello. Your cigarette's gone out.
3 and 2 make 5, 5 and 7, 12, 12 and 3, 15. Hello. 15 and 7, 22, 22 and 6, 28. No time to light it again. 26 and 5, 31. Whew. That amounts to 501,622,731.
500 million what?
You're still there? 501 million... I don't remember. I have so much work to do. I'm a serious man. I can't be bothered with trifles. 2 and 5, 7...
501 million what?
Oh, of those little things you sometimes see in the sky.
Flies?
No, those little shiny things.
Bees?
No, those little golden things that make lazy people daydream. Now, I'm a serious person. I have no time for daydreaming.
Oh, you mean the stars.
Yes, that's it. Stars.
And what do you do with 500 million stars?
501,622,731. I'm a serious person, and I'm accurate.
And what do you do with those stars?
What do I do with them?
Yes.
Nothing. I own them.
You own the stars?
Yes.
But I've already seen a king who...
Kings don't own. They reign over. It's quite different.
And what good does owning the stars do you?
It does me the good of being rich.
Then what good does it do you to be rich?
It lets me buy other stars if somebody discovers them.
And what do you do with them?
I manage them. I count them and then count them again. It's difficult work, but I'm a serious person.
If I own a flower, I can pick it and take it away. But you can't pick the stars.
No, but I can put them in the bank.
What does that mean?
That means that I write the number of my stars on a slip of paper, and then I lock that slip of paper in a drawer.
And that's all?
That's enough.
That's amusing. And even poetic. But not very serious. I own a flower myself, which I water every day. It's useful to my flower that I own her. But you're not useful to the stars.
The businessman opened his mouth, but found nothing to say in reply, and the little prince went on his way. Grown-ups are certainly quite extraordinary, was all he said to himself as he continued on his journey.